In this video I'll show you how to customize TenGun. In TenGun, custom settings are stored in what we call a profile. The profile defines field names, colors, and many other settings. If you are going to be making major changes to a profile, it is a good idea to first create a new profile. This is easy to do. Just go to the Save Profile item on the File menu, and assign a new name when prompted. Now let's examine the current settings. You can get to the settings dialog either from the Edit menu, or by clicking the gear button in the toolbar. I won't actually save the profile T. As you can see, the settings are divided into categories displayed on different tab pages. I won't cover each and every possible setting in this video. There is a pop-up tooltip explaining each setting, but if you want to learn more you can refer to the documentation. As you can see, the General Settings tab has many items related to the general appearance such as color and font settings. The most important setting on this page is the default field list. Many types of data contain built-in field definitions. However, for a plain data file, you must define the fields here in a comma-separated list.
This list must always include fields name X, Y, and for 3D data Z, that define the particle position.
Below this is the default field name, which is the field you are always most interested in viewing first. Let's move along to the Scalar Colors tab. This tab allows you to change the coloring of the scalar bar where we show the range for real valued fields. These settings are rarely changed. There are a few scalar bar tricks though, such as limiting the range and completely hiding the scalar bar. These tricks are described in the documentation. Before examining the Discrete Colors tab, let's examine the Fields tab. This tab defines commonly used and user-defined field names. You are not required to do this, but when we know more about the fields you use we can make the display prettier, and we can manage memory better. Let's select the field named bounds to show its property values. Notice that this is a discrete, integer field. Also notice that we have assigned a custom color table to this field. The color table name happens to be the same as the field name, but this isn't always the case because custom color tables can be applied to multiple fields. The custom color table is shown at the bottom. Here we can say for example that when the bounds value is 0, show label interior on the scalar bar instead of just the value. And, particles in this category will be a colored light blue. The values in the color table do not need to be sequential because this is a lookup table. Notice that values go from 0 to 4, but then jump to 8 and 9 for the plate and the air cases. The color table is actually defined on the Discrete Colors Settings tab. This setting is a bit of chicken or egg process at the moment. Which do you create first, the table or the field description? Now, over to the Discrete Colors tab. First, we can select an existing table, or click Add Table to create a new one. If this is a new table, there will be no color entries. You can click the Presets button to show a list of predefined color schemes. Scroll through them until you find one that you like, and click OK. You can change individual colors in the table by double-clicking the color. A color selection dialog is displayed. You can also set the opacity from 0.0 to 1.0, where 0 is fully transparent. It's sometimes useful to lower the opacity for properties that occur on the outside. For example, if you lower the opacity on a material representing a container, you can then see inside the object a little bit without having to cut it. Now let's look at the chart settings. These settings are straightforward. You can set the text color, the background color, and the pen thickness for lines. You can also set up a chart color table, much like the way we did for a discrete color table. Your color table should have at least one entry for each possible variable in your worst-case chart, but if the chart logic runs out of colors it will cycle through the color table again. Finally, let's look at the animation settings. There are just two settings I want to cover in this video: animation time and title. Video creation and animation settings are the subject of a separate video. The animation time is the delay, in milliseconds, between frames. If you don't have many time steps, this tends to be a large value such as 1000 milliseconds, 1 second, but if you have a large number of time steps it tends to be a smaller value such as 200 milliseconds so you don't bore the viewer. The title setting is used to create a dynamic, customized video title. The title setting can contain literal text such as the word step, and some macros such as %s to insert the current step number. Hold the mouse pointer over the title input area to display a tooltip with these macro descriptions. That's it for basic settings. Click the OK button to save and activate your new settings.